Hi there, it's Bitumelo again. Today, we're going to speak about the structure of the international trade industry. This is a continuation of the topic. There is part one, two, three, four. This is part four, and the last part of the topic. Please go see part one, two, three, four, so that you can follow through the conversation. So today, I'm going to zoom into the private sector or privately owned businesses that are involved in international trade. I'm not going to mention the business's name. I'm going to mention what they do and what services they provide. Okay, so there's producers of tangible and non-tangible products. Tangible products are things that you can touch, see, and feel. For example, this beautiful Ndebele scarf and this beautiful Ndebele bangle and scarf, and these are locally produced. And the local content varies from business to business. Some businesses or some products have 100% local content, while some businesses will have lesser percentage of local content. Some businesses will import some ingredients from other countries in order to produce locally, right? So South Africa, one of South Africa's key economic drivers is agriculture. So in SA, we have many businesses or many farmers who produce great agricultural products. And there's also many small scale farmers who produce the same. So the market, I don't think the market is in South Africa is saturated. However, I know that small scale farmers, they struggle with access to market, right? So this now provides an opportunity for local farmers and local businesses to explore opportunities in other countries. I am very, I'm very excited about the products that are produced by indigenous people in South Africa and in different countries. Because those indigenous products, you cannot find them anywhere in the world. For example, this beautiful cuff and the scarf that I'm wearing, these can only be produced in South Africa the way they are produced, right? And even when you go to other countries, for example, you go to Colombia in Cartagena, where the natives produce beautiful hammocks, and these hammocks, they come in various designs, and it's so easy for them to produce that, and in that market they're easily accessible. However, I am certain that there are other markets in other countries who would love to have access to hammocks, just to give you an example. So international trade is key to ensure that businesses thrive not only locally but internationally, right? So in South Africa, small scale farmers, small businesses, um, businesses in the townships, in the villages, it's time that you start thinking about markets beyond the borders of South Africa, as your products might be desired more in other countries than they are desired in local markets. And one of the reasons is because in a local market, typically the products that are produced by indigenous people are easily accessible, easily available, and many people can produce them. Whereas when you cross the border, then the products, because they are not common in those markets, then they can get taken up very easily, right? So it's something to think about when you are producing in or manufacturing in your local country, to not only think about selling within the borders of your country, but to think of selling cross-border. So I just spoke about the products now. So I'm going to mention now the entities that are involved in international trade. So you've got exporters, businesses that sell. These are the sellers who sell to international markets. Then you've got importers, businesses that import, they buy in from another country. And exporters, they sell different things as well as importers importing different things. Like I mentioned, some importers could import ingredients to the local country, to the local market in order to produce something locally. For example, you have South African paint manufacturers who import some ingredients from other countries so that they can manufacture paint locally combined with the local ingredients, right? And then once they do that, then they can sell the paint locally, and some paints they can sell internationally. So importers, exporters, um, very important. You need to have registration with your customs officers prior to doing import or export deal. You also now have traders. Traders, some people call them agents or middlemen. These are the businesses that are between the buyer and the seller. So the traders, they see an opportunity of a product and they might go into the market to look for a buyer, right? And the job of the traders is to buy from the supplier and sell to the buyer in whatever country. So they can buy from South Africa to sell to Dubai, for example, right? And then they earn a markup, they earn a margin on their services. So they will arrange, they tend to arrange financial instruments that facilitate the transaction. They deal with freight forwarders, customs clearing agents to facilitate the movement of the goods and clearance at customs. So they do the whole works, and then they charge a commission for that, right? So they don't own the product. All they do is buy and sell. You also now have consultants. Consultants, this is a term that is loosely used. So Destiny Global Trade and Logistics is also a consultancy agency. So we provide services as far as assisting businesses to structure their deals when they're looking to import or export from A to Z. We also provide training in international trade like we do now, right? And we charge a fee for that. However, this training that I'm providing for you now is free of charge because I want to assist a lot of businesses worldwide to upscale, to think about going global, and to also um, have access to international markets. So we will get to that in other videos to come. So far, let's just recap. I've mentioned exporters, importers, traders, consultants. Now I'm going to mention the financial institutions, which are different types of financial institutions. You've got commercial banks, you have cooperative banks, insurers, etc., who provide different financial assistance and instruments to facilitate international trade transaction as well as services. As you might be aware, when you are importing or exporting, there will be a payment that needs to be done, and this is going to be done through financial institutions or banks. There could be financial instruments such as letters of credits, also known as documentary credits. You know, different types of foreign guarantees. There will be a foreign exchange element to it where currency needs to be converted. There's documentation that needs to be presented to the banks for payment, and a whole lot of things and services that they do, and they also charge a fee, right? Customs, the next one is customs clearing agents. So customs clearing agents' main role is to assist businesses to clear their goods at customs. So you, as a business, you need to, obviously, like I mentioned, you need to be registered as an importer or exporter, first of all. And secondly, you need to provide your customs clearing agent with supporting documentation so that they can clear the goods at customs for you for importation or exportation. And these documentation are crucial. We'll speak about documentation one day. These documentation are crucial because they are presented at customs, they are presented to your freight forwarder, they're presented at your banks to facilitate the movement of the goods as well as payment. And if your documentation are not in order, you may foresee delays in other, problems which you do not want to come across. So it's important that you have your documentation in order. The next one on the list is carriers. Carriers are, you've got 4 modes of transportation in international trade: sea, air, road, and rail. So the carriers are your aeroplanes, your train wagons, your trucks, and your vessels, the actual transportation vehicles that carry the stock. And their main role is to make sure that your stock is carried from point A to Z safely and timelessly. There are packaging companies. Packaging companies play an important role, and they are experts in their field. So they assist to ensure that your product is packaged properly for transportation. Packaging for agricultural products differs from packaging for, let's say, paper or books, um, computer products, so, and then there's fragile products, non-fragile products, and then there's some products which cannot be packaged, which is called break bulk. So however, the packaging businesses are experts in that, and they will guide you as to how a product must be packaged. And one day in one of the sessions, one of the videos I'll touch on packaging and how different types of products are transported safely, and securely from one country to the other, by sea, by road, by air, etc. And this happens on a daily basis. The next is inspection agencies. Inspection agencies play a very important role also. These are privately owned inspection agencies that inspect products for quality and quantity. So they, as far as quality is concerned, is very important, because when you are buying a product from another country, you want to make sure that you are paying, you are going to receive what you paid for in the quantities that you have ordered, and also the quality. So they inspect quality, and they know how to test products for quality. When you go to the part 3 of the structure of the international trade industry, I spoke about, in South Africa we have South African Bureau of Standards, and other countries have got their own government-owned inspection companies. Now in the private sector, you've got private entities that do that as well. And once they do the inspection, they produce a certificate which confirms that the product has been checked for quality and quantity, right? And this inspection certificate gets presented for payment. Usually, it's required for payment by the importer, right? It's a very important documentation. So there's various types of inspection agencies worldwide, and some of them specialize in different commodities. So if you're importing non-ferrous metals, you might lean to a certain type of inspection agency, as opposed if you're looking to import or export agricultural products, there could be an inspection agency that specializes in that field. So inspection agencies play a crucial role, and they generally have laboratories all over the country and all over the world, to test these different types of products, and the higher scientists, qualified scientists, who inspect these products. The next one is marine insurance. Marine insurance is very important because things do happen. So goods need to be insured in transit from one country to the other. You need insurance against theft, against damage, and anything that could happen. So when you take marine insurance, you need to make sure that you take the proper insurance for your particular product. Your freight forwarder can guide you in this, but also the marine insurance business can also provide guidance as far as this is concerned. The next one I'm going to mention is also very important, plays a very crucial role in businesses. The chambers of commerce all over the world. Chambers of commerce are actively involved in linking businesses all over the world. They are on the ground. They know which businesses are in the areas, and they are able to link business to business globally, for exchanges of products and services. And they also provide services. They provide various types of interventions to assist businesses worldwide to link. And and they differ from country to country. Um, and I'm gonna speak about Colombia again. In Colombia, the Chamber of Commerce there is called Pro Colombia. Very, very open-minded, very accommodative, willing to go miles, bend over backwards, and connect you very quickly with businesses that you need to link with in order for Pro Colombia to export. So obviously, chambers of commerce in different countries are pushing for exportation of local content, of local products. However, trade is both ways, right? So chambers of commerce all over the world are playing a crucial role, and yeah, that's one of the things that if you're a business and you're looking to go global, you can become a member of a chamber of commerce in your area, and see if this will benefit you. I just wanted to mention the last type of business, which is crucial when it comes to exportation. There are businesses that provide barcoding. Barcoding. Let me see if I can find one here. So if you see, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So there's locally businesses that provide barcoding. This barcoding is very important because it not only provides details about the specification of the product, but it also helps with tracking and tracing. Products sold, products, the movement of the products from the warehouse. So every product have got its own unique barcode, right? So even if a product was to get lost, it is easy to track which one got lost by using the barcoding. Um, if you're looking for a barcoding business, just inbox me. I can link you to one. And yeah, so when you are producing stock locally, it's actually much simpler than producing stock for international consumption. Because when you go global, you need to have things like a barcode, and your packaging needs to improve a bit. Your branding and things like that. So when you're exporting, also um, the quantity tends to be more, because businesses in other countries, they do get support from their government, to buy stock in large quantities. So when you are looking to export, just keep that in mind. And the barcoding part is also important. So if you're producing stock that requires barcoding, it's important that you get that in check prior to having a good shipped to another country. So I hope this was insightful. Please do share. Please do share to anybody who you think you can benefit. Please share to to farmers, local farmers, international farmers. Please share to local businesses, to my South African, Kasi businesses in the townships that produce different beautiful products. Let's let's open our eyes and look beyond the borders of South Africa. There's opportunities out there. You can sell your products to other countries and earn in foreign currency, right? So I think the first thing that you need to do, once you decide that you want to get into the export market, is to get yourself an exporter's registration. Go to Customs and Excise or go online on SARS e-filing, SARS e-filing, South African Revenue Services e-filing, and register yourself as an exporter. Thank you for listening and have a good evening.